Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's that time. I'm sorry, guys. There's no, like, really fancy intro this week because, I just wanted to make this really quick and get it up because I'm going to try and get these up every single Friday. I don't even know what number this is. Oh, gosh. Is it number 4? I think it's number 4. Or is it number 5? I'm not sure. Oh, no. I'm going to get called out for not knowing what number this is. What number LP Variety Hour is this? Oh gosh, what universe are we in? Anyhow, guys, I'm just going to freestyle this one. I don't even really have any subjects written down at all. I'm just going to talk because I'm going to try and get these up every Friday, and hopefully I'm going to get this up in time for your cardio. I'm not quite sure. Maybe not. Maybe you're going to have to listen to it tomorrow, but I'm going to try and get it up every single Friday now. It's going to be a weekly thing. These are very, very fun for me to make, and I want to thank all of you guys for all your positive comments. I get nothing but positivity on these, and so thank you guys. I mean, well, on my channel in general, really, there's not many haters. Thank you guys so much. So much positivity. It's amazing. First thing I want to talk about is that LP got a drone. Yeah. I mean, when you hear that, you think, oh man, LP got a drone. He's going to be filming he's going to be filming HD tomorrow. No, guys, that's not what happened at all. I went out and I bought a toy one, and what I did is I did a bunch of research online, and sometimes I get interested in something, and I go down this loophole on YouTube and the internet of just looking stuff up on it, man, and just checking something out, and I came upon a YouTube video of, it was this, like, little kid. He couldn't be more than 9 years old. This kid was flying a drone in his house, a quadcopter, and phenomenal. The things he was doing, I was like, oh my, what? Like, no way. And so, of course, that leads to another video. You click on that video, and then you click on the next video, and the next thing you know, you're looking at, like, you know, some crazy $20,000 quadcopter or 8-rotored octocopter drone crazy thing with HD cameras, multiple cameras, an up-facing one, and do all this stuff. And then you get really interested and obsessed with something. So what ended up happening is I ended up doing a whole bunch of research online of, like, basically what, you know, how do you get started in this? You know, is this a silly thing? But then it's not a silly thing. I really thought about it. That little kid that is really good at flying that drone in his living room, he was flying a really cheap one, some like little, you know, $20 one that was super cheap, but he's using the lamest one out there, the cheapest one that's the most simple, and he's having to use his brain, his mind-muscle connections, and his eye-hand coordination to make this little thing do like little flips and go through rings and all sorts of stuff. And now he has the skill to fly a drone, a quadcopter. Drones are now being used for, like, lots of crazy stuff. And if you're good at flying them, I mean, maybe you have a job. There's a job opening for you. I don't really know. In my realm, in the YouTube world, I've only been, well, I've seen drones at multiple places now where I've been, like, at expos and stuff. But I feel like this is going to become a common thing. You're going to see quad-rotored little weird devices everywhere real soon. That's going to be something common. And so, me, being the guy that I am, I really love driving stuff. I like knowing how to do things, knowing how to mechanically operate things, you know, vehicles. You know those scissor lifts that you always see at the expos, guys? The scissor lifts that help set up all the things. They go up in the air, the little four-wheeled thing, and it makes the beepy noise. It goes up in the air. It goes over the carpet, you know. I can drive the hell out of one of those. I am a great scissor lift driver. Oh man, love it. So much fun. I've never driven a forklift. I've always wanted to drive a forklift. And if you do get to drive a forklift, it's pretty cool, man. I gotta say that like when you see the guy at Costco that just drives a forklift all the time, it's like, that's pretty sweet, dude. That's not that bad of a job, man. Forklift all day. It's pretty much like a big remote control car. That's pretty sweet. Anywho, back to the drone talk. I saw this little kid flying it, and I'm like, that little kid could, like, potentially fly for, like, the government or something if he wanted to when he gets older. Like, legit. Like, he was that good, like a little tiny, a crappy one that he bought, like, at, you know, Walmart or whatever, or online. It's like a $18 or $20 one, but he can fly it like it, and it looks like there is a robot flying. It looks like it's automated. It's crazy. I don't know where the video is, so I can't put a link to that video. So I definitely apologize, guys. But so it got me thinking. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. That's something I don't know how to do. Someone could hand me the controller to their new one they just got, and they're like, hey man, I want to let you fly this. Check it out. And I'm going to be like, duh. I don't know how to fly this. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to be the guy that knows how to fly, to do things, but I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to operate this thing. And so I want to know how to use them. And so I bought a cheapo one. What is it called? I've got the box right here. It's called the Maxi Quad Starship from Extreme. So it's the Extreme Maxi Quad Starship. I'll try and put a link in the description to it. It's a toy. It's a toy, man. But I did a bunch of research online, and there's a whole bunch of dudes on like little forums and stuff that say that you can buy this thing, and you can basically just strip off all the stuff that looks like a toy, and change a couple things just real simply, and all of a sudden you've got something that you can learn the basics of operating a quad rotor. And I mean, when you think of the implications of that, think about it. You know the little white crazy little the drone, the little quad rotors you see at like, you know, big film shoots. You see them all the time. That's a quad rotor. I can now fly that, man. I know how to fly the basic one that has no automatic assist or none of that. I started with that. So I started with basically the stick shift. Now I can move up to the paddle shifter, and then the really fast automatic F1 paddle shifter. See what I'm saying? So the reason I got it is I have to know how to operate this device. I've got to know. It's sitting right next to me right here. I may make a video about the whole thing. I have not. I know exactly what you people are thinking. You people are licking your chops. You're sitting there rubbing your little hands together, getting all excited. You're thinking, oh man, drone shots are coming soon for sure. No, I don't think so, guys. This one was a $60 drone. I read online a whole bunch of stuff, and I figured out that it's actually on sale at Fry's for $28, man. No sponsorship here. I'm not trying to send people nowhere. I get nothing for this. But if you guys want the same one I got, you can get it at Fry's. And it was $28. And from there, I've spent no money on it at all. I've flown it in the wind outside. It's pretty sweet. I have not got down the rotational turns. Or it's called like, I don't know what it is in aeronautical terms, but the turn where it pirouettes, basically, like a ballerina spin. I can hit it on the controller, of course, but then when it starts flying towards me, all the controls are the opposite. So it's like, all of a sudden it's a device that you don't know how to fly, and then the controls are backwards, and you're like, what in the world just happened to my life? My life is backwards. Next thing you know, it's flying at your face or something. It's crazy, man. Yeah, but so what I want to emphasize is that you never start off with a nice, expensive drone. Always start off with the base model of anything. When it comes to weightlifting, when it comes to anything, always start off with the base model. Every single time. Like, you don't ever want to just jump right into something. Like a lot of people on YouTube, man, they get really caught up in, you know, a lot of newer YouTube channels, they get caught up in what camera do I get, LP? I need to know what camera I get. Please tell me what camera is going to make my YouTube channel magically turn into the best YouTube channel on the earth. If I get that camera, it immediately gets me, 3,000 subs right off the bat. Just having that camera, boom, done. I feel like some people are looking for like a magical pill sometimes, and there isn't one. Like, there is definitely no magical pill. Like, this LP Variety Hour thing, there's no cameras. There's really, okay, it's kind of an expensive microphone. You could probably get it used now for maybe like $100 online. I mean, it's not, it's not that bad. We ain't working with like real high zoot stuff here. You don't need the best stuff all the time. You don't. You like a lot of the vlogs that I record. The last Colorado trip, the CT Fletcher, that was recorded with my little Sony. I believe it's the DSC TX30. and it's a waterproof, little simple, just not that good of a camera. It's got left and right audio, but that's about it, man. It's not that exciting. It's the equal to probably a lot of point and shoots now in video. But the fact that it's waterproof and everything, it kind of, you have to make it all compact and everything. So it's a little bit different. It has a, smaller image sensor and stuff like that because it's so compact. So you can actually get probably a better camera than this for a lot cheaper. But it's what I do my vlogs with. And I was doing them for a little while with a terrible handy cam that Mr. Matt Major gave me when he visited us a long time ago. If you haven't checked out Matt Major's channel, you should. It's got a really sweet, awesome intro now. He's getting pretty good at editing. Anywho, yeah, you always want to start off entry level, even in weightlifting. Start off with the basics, baby. And if you can't get down the basics, like if you can't, see, that's a problem I have with weightlifting is that like, okay, so in the quad drone world, if you don't know how to fly your quad or your drone, it definitely shows. Like you're going to crash your drone, you don't know how to fly it, you dummy. So it crashes. Now in the weightlifting world, or even in like, if you're racing cars and you don't know how to race your car, you're going to wham into a wall, man. Or let's say drifting, drifting cars. If you don't know how to drift, you are definitely going to be able to tell. Your car is not going to be around for a long time, and you might die because you drift into a K-rail or something, man. Who knows? But in weightlifting, man, people get away with some stuff in the gym. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those people where you're just like, dude, you don't ever hit legs, man. Never. Ever, ever, ever. And it does show, but it only shows to like a few people, like the people that have like the knowledge. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people walk around forward dominant. People don't understand what that means, and that means that you hit your chest and your anterior, your front shoulders too much, your anterior deltoids. So what ends up happening is your front gets really big, and it kind of builds a lot of tension, and it creates a kind of an elastic reaction, and it brings your shoulders in, and you kind of walk around with your palms towards the back of you, posteriorly, and you end up forward dominant with no rear shoulders, not a lot of back and stuff. A lot of dudes walk around like that, but if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't realize, what a rear deltoid looks like, the back of the shoulder building up and stuff, you'd never really know. And not a lot of people do, man. Like a lot of people just get really forward dominant. A lot of dudes are very forward dominant, and like nobody really recognizes it because they don't really have the knowledge. It's very strange. But like, if you have a drone, that thing's gonna fly out of the air and crash into somebody's face or on their head or something, and people are definitely gonna notice. I just realized that. That's kind of cool, man. It would be interesting to see, because there's a lot of people out there buying these crazy expensive drones. They would make fun of you because you're going to ask them to fly the little weird toy drone that's very, it's stupid because it's cheap or whatever. But I bet a lot of people couldn't fly them. Like this little one is very difficult to fly, man. It's tiny. It drifts in the wind. I don't even think I'm supposed to have it outdoors, LOL. But I do anyhow. And yeah, you can definitely tell if you can't fly that thing, man. All right, so on to something else I want to talk about. This was in my brain. I was talking to my baby girl. Yeah, it was my baby girl. Yeah, yes. And I want to talk about how I don't know what to do about this problem. So don't hate me for talking about it without a solution, but I definitely want to talk about it. I feel like sometimes when you take a class in college, or any class for that matter, sometimes teachers will overcomplicate, like, let's say how you turn something in. And sometimes I feel like what they can do is they can avoid teaching because they're lazy. And they can they can hide behind giving you a bunch of stupid instructions on something. I had a photography teacher once. Oh man, I just quit the class because I was over it. I could get the money back, and I was like, whatever. And so they'll hide behind, like, okay, so I want you to go home today, and I want you to take some pictures, and I want you to, let's see, okay, I want you to do perfect thirds on, 10 pictures. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a subject in 1/3 of the shot. And I want you to come back next Monday and give me those shots. So a way you could do that would be, in this digital world today, is take a bunch of shots, email them to her, or post them on a social media website that you make for the class, like on a Tumblr or something like that. You could do a Facebook fan page for the class, and then you could just post on the page 10 pictures. You could get a USB drive, and you could just bring them in each week and just copy pasta right to the teacher's computer. No. Here's what this teacher wanted. This teacher wanted, oh God, what'd she want? She wanted a spreadsheet or something like that. No, a contact sheet of a bunch of your photos put into certain size boxes on the paper in a certain pattern. And if they weren't that, she took out her, I'm going to avoid cursing right now. I apologize. She took out her freaking ruler on mine, and she measured my boxes. And I asked her, I said, is this a Photoshop class? And she said no. And I said, is this a class on proportions or on how to crop things in Photoshop and how to size them and how to resize them in Photoshop? And I was saying it like this. And she said, well, no. And I said, so why are you sitting there measuring my photos? What's this class called? And it was a class called Playing with Color. It sounds delightful, doesn't it? Playing with color. So what I thought I was going to be learning was how to, shoot a shot, how to color correct it. Like if I shot a photo of a pretty girl in a forest and it was a gray, cloudy day, I thought that what she would be showing me was how to correct that photo, not make it look all cold and gloomy in that photo. How do I warm that photo up? This is something I said to her. I said, I thought this class was about, color correction and making things a different color or, but instead she was teaching us things like perfect thirds and stuff like this and taking out her ruler and measuring boxes on pieces of paper. And it wasn't even a printing class either, mind you. It's a whole nother world, man. And so I asked her, why are you measuring my boxes? Didn't you ask me to take perfect third shots? And I was like, I took plenty of those. And no, she wasn't satisfied. Got an F on the thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this person. Went and I complained, got the money back and all that stuff. But I was just like, it is sad to me that there are teachers out there that are that are senile enough and silly enough to have a job where they're called a teacher and then avoid teaching by putting a bunch of hurdles in front of students instead of teaching them anything. Like, I was in a class, there's legit a bunch of beginners that were trying to learn things, but instead what they were having to do is learn how to resize photos and get them onto a piece of paper and how to, print. It's a difficult thing in Photoshop, man. I'm sure some of you guys have tried to make like your kid a birthday card or something in Photoshop. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to resize things and how to make the resolutions match and stuff like that, it is so difficult. So difficult. And it's not the basics, man. It's very advanced stuff. And so I feel like a lot of teachers are just disguising their teaching with rules and hurdles, and they'll just make an assignment just far more difficult by adding all of these silly requirements that just don't need to be added at all. It's a way to not do your job. You're just putting hurdles in front of the person that you're supposed to be teaching. It keeps them from learning. That's just how I feel. I think it's terrible. All right, another thing I want to talk about is that flicking through the YouTube the other day, and I see this video of two very young girls. Like, they had to, could you guys hear that? My stomach was just rumbling like a lion in the Saharan plain, and there is a zebra in front of him. Wow. So on YouTube, on the YouTubes, there's these two girls, and they can't be more than 5 years old. One of them's got to be like 3 or something, like so young. And all they do is they just try different candies. That's all they do on this channel. Guess how many views that each video usually gets? Like right around like 512,000, man. Like what? Like whoa. Little kids just trying candy. I mean, the implications of why that has a lot of views is, I'm not even going to get into the whole, that weird thing of, you know, people watching little kids for pleasure or whatever. But, I mean, that is something that should be touched on this subject, but that's not what I'm getting into. I'm talking about how amazing it is that these two little girls have more views on a video than, like, I think does CT Fletcher get like 512,000 views on a video? I don't even know, man. Like, they're just trying candy. That's it. That's all they're doing. And so what I really want to emphasize on this, and I hate to even talk about it because I hate to like not promote, you know, the schooling system and college and all that stuff. And you should have a basic education. You should know how to write, and you should know how to, you know, do basic math and all that good stuff. But sometimes you watch people spend 4 years and then you watch the results and you're like, why are you mad at me that you wasted? Like, you're just you're unhappy about this. That's not good. And so what I want to talk about is that these two girls now have a YouTube career straight up. And their dad, like, basically, it's actually pretty funny. Like, one of them one time tried this. I watched a couple of the videos. One of them tries something disgusting. It was like a terrible jelly bean or something, and she like freaks out, like, ah! And she's just sitting there crying about it, and all of a sudden the dad just kind of takes a glass of water and just kind of scoots it on the table in front of her and doesn't say anything. And she's just like, oh, yes! And she just starts drinking. Freaking adorable, man. This guy's a genius. And so these little girls, 512,000 views, man. Like, legit. That's a YouTube career. Straight up. The candy companies are going to start sending them stuff. I mean, and then at what point do they get paid? Do they get like a candy sponsorship? I mean, that is insane. They're only at like, what, I think one of them is, they got to be like 4 and 6 years old or something like that. What happens when they're 18? Like, whoa. Are they in Bentleys? Are they in like, they're in like Bentleys made of hard candy? Like the rims are just made of that crystal rock candy. You know what I'm talking about? They're in a little Bentley. They're Bentley Continental. They're just like, sup, man? They got like candy glasses on, little banana gum earrings or something like that. All right, I went a little too far with it, but they now have like a career in YouTube. These two little girls, like, and they don't even realize it. Their dad just like, hey, come here, guys. We're gonna try candy again, and they just try candy in front of the camera, talk about the candy, talk about what it's called. That's it. Like, what? Like, that's nuts, man. If you have 512,000 views, one of them. Yeah, they usually right around like 500,000 views, I think. Oh, I am terribly sorry for that beep, folks. It is my computer doing something. I apologize. I'm sorry if that completely just disrupted your cardio or whatever terrible, horrible task that you're doing and listening to my voice to get through it. I definitely apologize for that beep from the bottom of my heart. I'm serious. Maybe you couldn't hear that beep at all. Maybe it was completely in my earphones. That would be funny. Anywho, these girls get more views than like most of us fitness YouTubers. Like, so, I mean, some of us combined, like a lot of us combined, they get more than us. Just trying candy on camera, man. It's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, but that's a debatable subject. I mean, should the dad be filming them and putting their faces on YouTube? Maybe later on they don't want to be on YouTube. And then another thing, onto a new subject. This is something that I heard on, what was I listening to? KPBS. Yes, I listen to KPBS. I'm an old man. They were talking about fame and how everybody is chasing fame. They always, like, a lot of people are chasing, like, followers, likes, and like, but it's not. It's in like a I don't remember how they describe it. It's in like a it's in like a weird way that the person doesn't even know why they want this. They're just looking for it, just for no reason. Whoa, that's kind of trippy, man. I just kind of said something trippy. When you think about a zombie is just kind of after brains for no. It doesn't even know anything. Like you can chop its arm off. It just keeps walking. It doesn't care. It just keeps chasing the brains. That's all it cares about. So if you think about it, it's kind of the same thing. They're just kind of chasing likes and follows and everything for like, you're not like, there's not a reason behind it. That's what they were talking about in this. And what they were talking about was that, so if you like don't have a message that you want to convey and you don't have something that you want to share, you actually legit want to share something with people. Like, I really love making these how-to videos on my channel for you guys. And then people being like, oh man, I'm going to go do that tonight. Like people posted that fascia roller video that I made and stuff. Oh man, I get so thrilled at helping people like solve their first world problems or help them with anything. It's awesome for me. Especially, okay, so there are people that are on weight loss journeys that are attributing their success to like, they say that like, someone told me that I'm the reason that they started their weight loss journey. What? That's like, oh man, what? I had to put my hands over my face just now. I'm like, oh no. What in the world? Like, I helped you? Like what? And you know, somebody told me that, you know, it's your ideologies, the way you explain things, how you look at life. And I'm like, man, that's better than, oh man, I don't even, it's crazy. I love doing that for people. And so I want to get my word out there, you know? I like helping. That's what I like doing, man. And recently, like a lot of people have been complaining about how, I won't even say any names, but this is a message that I keep hearing all the time on the fitness YouTube community. I'm tired of everything being the same. I'm tired of everybody just doing vlogs. I'm tired of everybody just doing fitness routines. And so you know what, man? If you're sick of that, first of all, unsubscribe. If you're sick of something, don't watch anymore. And then second of all, don't put that content on your channel. Like, don't make those videos. I try my best not to make anything that is anything like anyone else's. If there's one goal that I have in life, I'm very proud of this, and it's not being normal. I have this thing, this word that I use, it's schmo. I don't ever want to be a schmo. I don't ever want to be the same as everybody else. That's like one of my biggest goals in life. I don't like being the same as everybody else. Because then all of a sudden you just kind of have the same skills as everybody else. What happens if something happens, man? Like, let's say the zombies do come or whatever. Like, you need different skills than everybody else. You know, you want to be different. That's how I feel. I feel like we should all differentiate. But instead, like a lot of people, everybody's just kind of selling each other things at their job now. You ever notice that? It's just a lot of selling things back and forth from company to company, and then like you buy it and then you sell it to somebody else and then they sell it maybe. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's strange to me. So change what you do. Like don't keep doing the thing that you don't like. Like if you don't want to see full day of eating, don't do them, baby. Because you know what? LP don't really do them because he hates doing them. I talk about it when I do them. Like, man, I hate doing full day eatings. You know what? Don't do them, baby. Like that's just, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just weird to me. But be different. Be completely different than everybody else. Totally different. If you're the same, you're just kind of like part of a herd. My brother just got home and he's rapping a gangster rap song. I heard him. As he walks in the door, he is rapping a gangster rap song. That's when you know you're really on, like you're on top of your, I really don't care what people think. Like you're just kind of always walking around rapping. You know that dude that you see sometimes, like that awesome, like, I'm not trying to be racist here at all, that really cool, awesome swag black dude, he'll just be like walking through the mall or something, he's all like just saying a rhyme as he's walking around to himself, and he's all into it, and he's got like, he's just sitting there kind of going back and forth and swinging his hand a little bit, and you're just like, damn, dude, you gotta have like, you probably wrote that too, like, you gotta have a lot of confidence to just kind of walk around rapping, like, you don't care what people think of you, like, that's impressive to me. I think that's pretty cool. I'm always impressed with people that just do not care with what people think of them. That's amazing, man. That's another thing I want to talk about. I definitely want to talk about this. I feel like people have a force field. No, it's not a force, but it's kind of like it's like this limiting, this bubble of like insecurity that they're in. They don't ever try anything, ever. I was walking down the street the other day for a video. I'm not going to tell you guys what video it is because I don't want to reveal anything, but it's going to be a very, very good how-to video. It's going to help a lot of you. If you're a fitness YouTuber, it is going to help you a whole bunch. Even if you're a YouTuber that's been in the game for a little bit, probably it could help. I'm thinking it could help you. I'm not really sure, but it will help a lot of beginners. Anywho, I was walking around with my camera and I was taking selfies, and I realized something, that if I was too self-conscious, to be doing this thing that I was doing in the middle of the road, it couldn't happen. You guys wouldn't have a video. There'd be nothing to watch, man. And so I'm realizing that like a lot of people just sit in their houses. They don't ever come out of the house. They would never go step onto the street and take a selfie in the street ever. Oh man, what do you do? That would be like the most exciting thing that happened in like a long time for some people. Like, oh man, I'm gonna walk out in the street and take a selfie in the middle of the street. Whoa, what? And I realized that some people are really held back by what other people think about them. And I gotta tell you guys, like, once you take off that like straitjacket of insecurity and worrying about what people's eyeballs are absorbing, all of a sudden you become a beautiful, beautiful, amber-colored seagull flying in the purple and blue alabaster sunset of the Pacific Ocean whilst the waves are crashing on the sand. Kind of ruined that there. But you become a free bird, man. Like, once you don't, like a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't care what people think. They still care what people think. They still do. I'll admit it. I still kind of care what people think sometimes. It happens sometimes. I will admit, sometimes I won't wear a particular tank top to the gym because it makes me feel small. It makes me feel really tiny. But if I wear a little bit of a smaller one, I can look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I feel big right now, man. I feel a lot bigger than when I did before, you know? Makes you feel good. But I don't care what people think about that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter to me, but it makes me feel better. I like it. Definitely. You know? Sometimes I wear hot pink shoes. You guys have seen that? Don't care. Don't care what you think at all. You become a free bird, man. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes I feel like the messages that are conveyed in media, and I hate to say it, but I always talk about it, television, is that, you know, people want you to be caught up in what other people think. You know what I mean? Hello, sir. I'm recording a LP Variety Hour.
I didn't realize that.
You're in it now.
Oh, we're still going.
You're in. Oh no, I'm not cutting this, man. Here, you can.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry, folks.
What do you want to say to the people? It's on shotgun, so you have to.
I just got back from the dermatologist.
Oh God!
And just ran the door open and screwed up all your beautiful talking.
Oh no, you're here now. You can totally do whatever you're doing. In fact, now that he's on the dermatologist, I want to talk about this BS-ery that this gentleman has to go through. That was my brother just now. Humerus Fitness at Thick Solid Tight, whichever one Brian Turner, aka all of them, whatever you want to call them. But I want to talk about something. So he's on Accutane. I'm sure some of you guys came over from his channel. Not sure if you know about his Accutane adventures, but anyhow, it's essentially vitamin A, is it not?
Yeah, vitamin A.
Yeah. So basically, it's just high doses of vitamin A. It's I'm sure it's some kind of particular vitamin A, or it has certain ways of absorbing or something like that. But it's not a controlled substance. It's not like something that it's not something that a kid's gonna take and then he's gonna find himself like walking in the middle of the street or something because he don't even know what's going on in his brain anymore. Xanax, on the other hand, yeah, see what I'm saying? Don't you think that's weird? Isn't it weird that like high doses of vitamin A, that's something that they're like really concerned about, because this gentleman has had to go to like multiple appointments where he doesn't get his medication. Like they can't ship it to the local pharmacy for some reason. High doses of vitamin A, basically. They can't ship it to the normal pharmacy because he has to go to this particular pharmacy and pick it up. Oh no, wait, they don't have it. They don't have this one. They don't have that one. Oh, hang on. Oh God, it ends up being this like big merry-go-round that he goes through just to get this stupid medication. But let's say that I wanted some like Percocet or some crazy stuff, like I hurt my leg or something. You can go right to the pharmacy and get that. That's like no big deal. That's basically like an opiate or something. It's something crazy. It's addictive and all that stuff. And you can just get that. That's like no problem at all. That one, you got free access to that. We can get it right to your pharmacy down the street from your house. What is that? Why is there such a path towards that stuff? It's very strange to me. It's so easy to get that. You can just like walk into the doctor and be like, I'm depressed. Oh, here's Xanax. No problem. Done. You're going to be looping out for the rest of your days. You're going to be going down a weird, psychotic, strange, weird tornado thing. I have some friends that have taken Xanax before, and they've told me about their experiences. It's the only reason I talk about it. They call them Z-bars, bro. You get a Z-bar. And the way they talk about Z-bars is like they're going to another universe or something, and they wake up somewhere that they don't realize they even fell asleep, like all this stuff. And then I hear that, little old lady X over here is taking it, and I'm like, wait. That one kid that like parties all the time and does all this crazy stuff, and like he took one the other day and told me about it at the gym, and then he woke up in another world, like. But then the little old lady X can still say, like, what? Like, that's crazy. She feels all that, and she don't say nothing to nobody. She's not like, wow, man, that made me feel crazy, guys. She just doesn't talk. Like, I don't know. It's weird, man. That's something I'd never try, Xanax. No, thank you. Don't want to do that. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to end this LP Variety Hour right now because I'm so hungry that I'm kind of getting faint, to be completely honest. And I want to go fly my drone. I'm not going to lie. I hope that you guys, I really hope that this helped you guys get through something terrible, whatever it was. If it was mopping a floor or knitting. Well, knitting's not that bad. Knitting's actually kind of fun for some people. So never mind. Well, maybe I am accompanying you on knitting, and you're knitting a beanie. Maybe you're going to mail it to me. We need to get a P.O. box, by the way. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, we need to do that so you people can send us stuff. Comment if you would send us stuff to a P.O. box, because that would be quite amazing. So do you have something you want to say?
I just want to say that I love you all, and I appreciate you watching this, or listening to this, rather. And if you've worked through this whole thing, I hope you've gotten through your work much easier. If you've done cardio through this, which is probably the most likely situation, I'm talking to Southern South.
It's literally the saying for this, like the saying or the saying. It's the saying for this show is getting you through your cardio since 2015, because that's what everybody comments. Like every single time, they're all commenting, "Got you? Oh, you got me through my cardio, man! Like no way, awesome!"
It's true, man.
And then usually they're like, "Oh, you uploaded it just in time when I go to the gym," and I'm like. Yes, that's why I felt bad I didn't have one pre-recorded, but I'm going to get it up soon. This one's kind of short, so hopefully the upload speed will be a little bit quicker. Yeah. We're going to see what happens, but I'm going to go have fun and fly my drone.
Let's have fun.
Hopefully, I'm going to have a camera attached to it soon. It could be terrible, guys. You could see it and you might be like, "Oh my God, that's horrible footage. What are you doing?"
Hopefully not.
But at least I'm practicing, and you got to start from the bottom before you get to the top, man.
Now we're here.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Uh-oh.
Not in the drone world. We're not at the top yet. We're going to be at the drone world one day. This is the first time there's been a guest on my show for even a second, so probably the title of this is going to be like, "First guest ever, Humerus Fitness." But by the way, you gotta listen to the end to hear him.
They're like, when is he gonna come in?
And it's a completely unexpected entrance. He just kind of comes in out of nowhere.
So this is a cameo, and then next time we gotta actually do the first feature guest.
Yeah. Well, I gotta figure out the mic and stuff. We'll see.
Figure out
All right,
the
guys. This is getting to be a long outro. I will talk to you guys. See you guys. Well, I'll see you guys next time, because next time it'll be a video, so you'll see me. You'll see my beautiful face. I will see you next time, beautiful people. Thanks for joining me.